Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to test the new Natasha Denona Bronze Palette. So exciting. Alright, let's just get into it. It has 15 shades and it has matte shadows, metallic, duochrome, and chrome crystal eyeshadows. So let's go do some swatches. Let me show you guys the palette that looks like. And what it looks like inside. Yeah, it's really pretty, I know. But let's get started on the shades. Work my way from this side. Oh, let's go this way because these are darker. So I'm gonna do them per row. So I'll start with this row and then work my way down. Yeah, I don't have to rub hard to get these colors on my finger to do swatches. Some you have to like really get in there, but I'm gonna try to make it as visible and pigmented for you guys as much as possible. So this is the first three. Yeah, that goes on so buttery. Seriously, I was really excited about getting this palette. Okay, the next three is Suntan, High Degree, and Palladium. I hope I'm saying that right. Just get those shades. Yep, I barely put any on my finger and it already has all that pigmentation on there. Okay, the next I'm doing is Sundown, Aloe, and Bliss. These three. This Bliss shade has like gold pinky flecks to it. It's pretty. Okay, running out of space. Ah! Now that I'm looking at it on camera, a lot of these shades are pretty similar. I believe it's really the textures that are more different. Shades are slightly different. Excuse me. And then next one is, before I do this, I'll go to this row last because it has that dark shade in there. But Rhodium, True Bronze, and Beach. These three: Rhodium, True Bronze, and Beach. Go on this. Yeah, so pretty. Okay. Last but not least is that dark shade, Deep Dive. Deep Dive, Ridge, and Silk. Deep Dive, Ridge, and Silk. There you go. All right, let's go ahead and see how these shadows perform. This shade right here for my all over lid color. Natasha Denona shades are very pigmented and they do fall out quite a bit. Okay. Just gonna go all over my lid. go again sniffling. I'm so sorry. Just have really bad allergies. And I take everything I possibly can to stop it. Anyway, that's going on really, excuse me, buttery and smooth. Yep, that looks really pretty. Okay, so next I'm gonna go in with, I think I'm gonna go in with Ridge. I did more of a warm orangey tone with the e.l.f. palette, so I'm gonna try to go a little different. This is Ridge right here. They're blending in so nicely together. You don't really have to do much blending. Honestly, just need to soften up the edges and just put a little shimmer, and that's really a good look for summer already. You don't need much, but I want to make sure I show you more shadows. Let's see. I'm going with the same brush and go in with another darker shade, and it's going to be Suntan. I don't want to go too vampy on the look because I did want to try it with maybe a different look today with some lipstick on. So if I have lipstick on, I don't want to go too harsh on the eyes, or vice versa. But this is the shade Suntan. Where is it? This one right over here. So far, I'm loving this palette so much. This is a palette that will last forever. I mean, literally, like, these shades are always gonna be wearable. You can go from daytime to night. Easy. Same thing on the bottom. I'm just gonna kind of go further in on this inner corner, towards the inner corner of my eye. go in with Magma, a shade, with a crease brush like this. Gotta go really lightly on these brushes, because if you don't, it will just get all over your eye. And just gently pack it on the crease. If you go like this, it's just gonna get all over and your look is just gonna get all messed up. So you can add that dimension to your eyelid. These brushes are really good because it's so finely tipped, so when you pack it onto your eye, it really leaves its being flawless. And it also helps when the shades are real buttery and soft. So that's how the look comes out. So I'm going to try the other side. Ever so gently. Creating that illusion of deeper set eyes. This palette would go well for like fall looks as well. So if you want to do a fall look, you could do shimmers, but usually for me, excuse me, I tend to do fall looks more with like mostly matte shades. So I'm going to make sure I use some of the shimmers in this to make it more summery, that summery vibe. Okay. All right. I'm going to do the same thing under the eye again with my crease brush. Same shade, Magma, but a little closer to the waterline. I feel like I always have to apologize for my background noise. Sorry. Okay. Tapered Crease Brush by Sonia Kashuk. This shade Deep Dive has some shimmery flecks to it. So ideally you don't want to put any shimmery tones on the corner of your eye, but let's just try it. Or at least the crease of your eye. Usually shimmery tones you put on the lid, but I don't like rules. Let's do makeup the way we want. Maybe it's the brush I'm using, but does go on really soft. It's perfect because I didn't want it to be that pronounced. We want it all to just blend ever so lightly, like almost like you don't want to know how many different shadows you're using. You just want it to look all one, if that makes sense. And if you want to go a little bit more vampy, you can bring this shade more towards the center of your eye. I have smaller eyes and I try to make it look bigger. So I try to go from light to dark, or either dark to light from top to bottom, but you know, you do all sorts of things. Okay, same thing under the eye again with my same crease brush with the same shade Deep Dive. But just the outer corner. Ooh. So be careful with these crease brushes, because look what happened to my palette. It like broke. Like literally dug a hole in the pan. That sucks. You can try and fixing it by pressing it down. Just press, because they are pressed powders. Okay, excuse me. Okay, go back to my look. Yeah, just be really careful. Shade is so fragile, but that's probably why they're so buttery soft. Okay, first I'll do the true bronze. This one looks really pretty. I'm going with my finger. It's not as thick as I thought it would be. But that is so pretty. It's so light, and but yet it gives so much shimmer, and they don't feel textured at all. They're still very buttery. Excuse me. So that is true bronze. Let's go ahead and just kind of blend that in a little bit. Okay. Next one we'll do the, let's do silk. Oh no, let's do aloe, because that one looks like it's different. It's more of like a duochrome. This one had the crystals. This one seems much more thicker, but you know, the shades look very similar. This one gives more of a bronze tone to it. This one's more gold. But they're not much different. Yeah, not much different. Just the slight difference. Just gonna blend this in a little with going back with the brushes that I used earlier to even it out. Blend the edges. Be very careful. And did my eyeliner. Just did a regular eyeliner, no wing today. And then I went in with my Stila fine tip eyeliner. And then I went with my Urban Decay under eye liner for the waterline. And I just kind of just did the corners more towards halfway through my waterline to have it give a little bit of a smoky look. I just thought of another thing I can use a shimmer for, and I figure I could use it on the inner corner of my eye as well. Let me see if I can get a brush for this, or I could just use my finger. So we didn't use silk yet, so I'm going to go ahead and use the shade Silk for that. I don't know what my neighbor is doing outside. They're doing something really loud. This one definitely sounds like, or see, freaking neighbors making me think sound but this one is definitely more of that chrome texture to it. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put my lashes on and I'll be right back. I brought out some from my collection that I thought might go well with this look. 3 from ColourPop, 1 from Kylie. Let's see what I got here. That lip called K from ColourPop. So their lipsticks are very affordable and I have a bunch of shades, so you don't have to get ColourPop. Just have something that's in your collection within, you know, these shade ranges, and if you wanted something similar to what Natasha Denona had, then find one that's a little bit more affordable, unless you really love Natasha Denona. So let me go in with this. Yeah. This is more of a matte shade, and this shade, sorry, gosh, I don't have lip liner right now, so that looks a little better, but I'm sorry, it's not perfect. But this shade was supposed to be a dupe for a shade that Kourtney Kardashian wore, and I saw it on her and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want that shade, and this is a cheap version of what was more of a nude. For me, it could be more of a mauve-y color for lighter skin tones, but if you wanted to go lighter on the lip with a slightly dramatic eye, this is what that looks like. And this one is from the I Love Sadai ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip in shade 951. That I have is the Ultra Matte Lip called K from ColourPop. So their lipsticks are very affordable and I have a bunch of shades, so you don't have to get ColourPop. Just have something that's in your collection within, you know, these shade ranges, and if you wanted something similar to what Natasha Denona had, then find one that's a little bit more affordable, unless you really love Natasha Denona. So let me go in with this. Yeah. This is more of a matte shade, and this shade, sorry, gosh, I don't have lip liner right now, so that looks a little better, but I'm sorry, it's not perfect. But this shade was supposed to be a dupe for a shade that Kourtney Kardashian wore, and I saw it on her and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want that shade, and this is a cheap version of what she had on. But this is more of a vampy look. Oh my gosh. All right. So this one I did off camera because the last shade that I showed you guys just was a disaster. And of course, when I put this shade on, it was like, boop, easy, perfect. But this one is the shade Pumpkin from Kylie Cosmetics. $65. I mean, I really think you can find these shades in probably your collection. These aren't like super unique shades. You're really just paying for the luxury and the brand, and of course the packaging. I'm a fan of Natasha Denona, so I really wanted to purchase this, and I personally don't regret it. One thing that I will say though is that previously she had only bigger palettes. So the bigger palettes, let me show you. One here, this was her Safari palette, and they were much bigger if you compare it to these. And these were, I believe, like $129, which was ridiculous. Like, then she came out with smaller palettes because people were complaining about the price, and so she just shrunk the pan sizes and basically cut the price in half. So if you are gonna, you know, treat yourself to one of her palettes, these are the way to go because they are a better deal. You really don't need that big of a palette. And when I had bought the bigger palette, the Safari palette, I didn't want to pay regular price for this because it was a lot of money. So at Sephora, like, you know, if you have rewards with them, you collect the points, and once in a while they give you a $100 gift card. And guess what I used that $100 gift card for? One of these. And it was such a treat. And then when they started coming out with these smaller palettes, I feel like, you know, you really are getting quality products. You can go with like an Urban Decay palette, and I love Urban Decay. You're spending about $45, and they're good, but sometimes like brands like Too Faced, you know, you're spending $45, $50 on palettes, and it's like a hit or miss on quality. I feel like Natasha Denona has been very consistent with their products. So if you want something, a staple in your collection, especially if you know that these are shades you're gonna use, you are just you're gonna love them. And they will stay there for quite some time. These shades aren't trendy. Really, I don't even want to say shades are trendy because it's really the style of how we do makeup that's trendy, but this, again, is a good staple to have in your. Thank you again for watching my channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up and do subscribe. And you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you again. See you guys soon.